Hi, everybody. It's Doc. We are here live for Sarcastic Gamers Season 7, Episode 15 of The Red Show. We're going straight into headlines. No fancy sound effects. We're still learning this. We're still getting this right. Lana, what's our first headline of the week?
The summer Steam sale hit this week. The infamous sale is also known to married guys as the weekend I spent thinking of the lie to tell my wife when she sees the empty bank account on Monday sale.
That is so true. Dude, I bought freaking DayZ. I don't even have anything to run it on. $49.99. Oh, honey, that was necessary. It was an upgrade for our security software patch. It's called DayZ.
Very necessary, DayZ. Yeah, just don't worry about it. $39.99. It's expensive. You know, it's expensive.
It is. Good one.
Oh, this just happened today. It broke my heart. The U.S. men's soccer team was 30 seconds from a historic second win in the World Cup qualifiers today in Brazil. The epic choke forces the U.S. to beat Germany this Thursday, or at least tie, or they're out. Well, I say beat Germany or go home. History says we got this.
History says if the Germans get beat, they kind of have a history of like hanging out in Brazil a while.
Or they go to Brazil after they lose, you know, or Argentina.
Oh my God, dude! I saw that guy hit that. It was like the first time in the forever that an American got head and didn't want it.
Oh!
Hey now, good morning.
If you had written that headline, then I wouldn't have changed it.
Very good. What's our last headline of the week?
And finally, wait till he took a drink so he wouldn't skip into my thing. EA boss has branded the Battlefield 4 launch as unacceptable. Thanks, EA boss, for getting back to us on that 8 months after launch. Really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that healthcare.gov, not up to our standards.
Hey, remember that invasion of Afghanistan? Probably wasn't a good idea.
Good Lord. All right, well, let's get on
after the fact.
You know what else is not a good idea?
Doing this show on YouTube?
And 8-bit base.
8-bit base.
This is where we normally run our intro. Again, we're going low tech till we get this whole Google Hangouts thing working. Those of you listening on the audio podcast, excuse the lack of 8-bit base music here. We'll get that fixed for you in the real near future. But in the meantime, welcome to it. This is the 15th episode of Season 7 of the Sarcastic Gamer podcast. I'm Doc. Lana is there in the blue. We're wearing opposite colors today to help you better distinguish us because we're starting to look a lot more alike as we get a little older.
I think it's really it's in honor of Team Fortress and the Steam Summer Sale. You know, red. You know.
I hear you on that. I just thought I think it's interesting that you're now copying my gray in the beard there.
Well, I'm definitely not copying your ugliness, so that works out good for me.
Nice, sweet. Dude, I've actually played more video game hours in the last 3 or 4 days than I probably have in the last 3 or 4 months, and I'm still addicted to War Thunder. That's my thing.
I want to talk about that. We have a lot to talk about because I want to play a little bit of it too, and then we'll come back to it in the coming weeks.
What else are we going to talk about today?
We have lots of things to talk about. I want to start off with cutting the cord, okay, from cable TV.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a cord cutter.
I actually ended up getting a really good deal for like $50 for like basic cable plus internet from Comcast Xfinity, but that means I don't have shows. I don't have channels like FX. I don't have AMC. I don't have ESPN. I don't have NBC Sports. I don't have Comcast Sports, which runs all the local baseball and hockey and basketball games. I don't have TNT. I have nothing. And it's basically the same price whether I get this cable or not. So it's like I ended up getting it. So I'm looking for ways to find the shows that I like on streaming, like Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime. And I found some good shows on there, but I like to hear people's feedback in the show comments or in the YouTube comments when you're not just saying "fuck you, Lano" in the YouTube comments, which was always welcome. I want to hear people. Where do you find the FX shows? Where do you find the AMC shows? If you don't have these on cable, where because I know that some of the AMC shows are on Netflix and some of the FX shows are on Amazon Prime. But some of them also aren't on Netflix, and and my kids just want to watch SpongeBob. Like, I don't have Nickelodeon or Disney, but you can get all the SpongeBob on Amazon Prime. So
right. So one of the things that I've learned to do, let me rephrase that. One of the things I could hypothetically do is do basically a swap. If I were so inclined, if I were doing this, I might share my Netflix credentials with someone who has HBO Go, and so they could use my Netflix as an authorized device, and theoretically I could use their HBO Go password to watch the rest of Game of Thrones.
Interesting.
And I might share my Hulu Plus credentials in return, since I don't have cable, watch the World Cup on ESPN.com today. Hypothetically, I could be swapping credentials, so it's sort of like sharecropping or just like a collaborative, and I don't think it hurts anything really myself, and frankly, just about everything's available through some streaming service in that way. So it's kind of about just networking your network.
That's a known thing. It's a funny thing that you mentioned that. I read an article about this, basically about people pirating Game of Thrones, but they're also aware of people sharing their HBO Go passwords. I mean, obviously, you're talking about they know where the devices are being used, you know what I mean? So one of the things is, and the way that the business model works between network TV, where they want people to watch the shows so that you get the advertising dollars, with Netflix and HBO Go, they want to hook you with the monthly fees. Right, so they want people to use their services, whether they pay for them or not, because their model is basically you're eventually going to pay for it, and then once you do, we have our hooks in you. So whether you get it illegally or you get it through sharing, at some point they feel like they're going to rope you in, so they don't mind that, and I think that's interesting.
Well, I feel better about it. The Onion had a funny thing with the Game of Thrones finale. Did you see the Onion article that said the Game of Thrones finale ends with the surprise ending of Game of Thrones season 4 with the arrest of 5 million viewers for piracy? I thought it was hilarious, but I mean, it's so true. I've been tempted so many times because HBO, they don't make Game of Thrones that easy to get. Now it's available on Xbox. We bought a couple seasons of it on there, but I mean, it's a year behind or so.
Yeah.
I think they could win. I think they could make more money by making their shows more available, even if it's at a premium, even if it's $5 an episode. There are people that'll pay it.
Sure.
Rather than I would always prefer, honestly, I will prefer to buy a show than to go down a dark alley in the internet to get it. I would prefer to just pay for it. I didn't always feel that way when I was younger, and I didn't have a lot of money, and not that I still have a lot of money, but I can afford shows now, and so I just prefer to peace of mind of just buying it. And you're right, though, some of those shows are very difficult to get a hold of. Even to buy them is difficult, and Game of Thrones is a prime example.
Well, this week we've also, we teased last week. I finished Wolfenstein. I also have an iPhone game that I want to talk about. Another thing that we could talk about is Game of Thrones. Obviously, you said you're caught up through season 4, but what I was thinking, let's wait till next week. Let's do Game of Thrones.
That sounds good to me. I definitely enjoyed it, and I look forward to us talking about that next week. But I've been playing War Thunder, and before we head into those iPhone games, and before we even talk about War Thunder, I just want to recommend a website to you, hypothetically speaking, called WatchFreeTVOnline.com. Sounds like a ridiculous name for a website, so obvious, but literally anything you can think of, there's a link away, should you want to watch it. Doesn't help you with live stuff, though. Sports.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what was it called again?
WatchFreeTVOnline.com.
WatchFreeTVOnline.com. Cool. I'm gonna check it out.
It seems legitimate.
I want to see that show, The Last Ship. I want to see, and I can't get it on TNT. So.
Well, give it a shot. War Thunder. We talked about this last week. It's a World War II tank. It's like World of Planes and World of Tanks, but they combine them into one game. I have been playing the crap out of that game. I probably got about $16, $17 in it. It's a free to play, but I've paid for extra gold so I could upgrade my my planes and stuff, and I've definitely enjoyed it. I've been running it off my wife's laptop, a PC, so I've been able to use my Xbox controller. Much easier experience.
You've been running the game off your wife's credit card too, so that works out real well.
Yes, it does. Until next week when I explain the scan software. She's like, this virus scanning is very expensive.
And how often do you do it?
Roughly every Friday. But War Thunder, so one of the things that I really like about it is because it's so accurately base. When they put you in a fight, you're not going like Mustang versus Mustang. It's not Spitfire versus Spitfire. It's literally like American forces in a historically accurate environment against Japanese forces. And I'm not a history buff, but I just think it adds to the fun of the game to have it more realistic. Big issue. Nobody wants to be Japan. Nobody. So you end up in this matchmaking where you have like 100 people stacked up on the U.S. side, and they can only take 16 at a time. And you have like 5 guys from Japan who are just like the pretty girl on the block. Everybody wants to play with them. So it's a little bit annoying and a little bit frustrating.
So that's a tip for people that want to get in easy matchmaking. Have you started doing this? Have you started getting Japanese, aircraft and stuff?
I have, but the problem is I spent so much time in the U.S. and I've unlocked so many badass planes. And when I went to Japan, I went back to biplanes again. I'm like, God dang, I can't sit through biplanes again. That's annoying. But I found a few ways to level up quickly. Play arcade mode, as stupid as it is. Just play the crap out of it. If you have gold, buy duplicates of the planes just to level them up faster, so that when they die, you can have another one. And basically, if you have $15, spend $15 and just kind of unlock a whole bunch of crap right off the bat. It makes the game a lot more fun. So yeah, I did that. I became a Japanese person, and definitely getting into matches faster. But it's a little bit unbalanced. It's a little weird the way that they do it.
I did some in real life fun stuff today, and as you can see, I'm sunburned right around here and right around here. And as you can see, if you look, this is how the sun was hitting me, and it casts a perfect shadow. But when you come this way, it looks like I'm a raccoon eyes, and that's just genetics, folks. That's just how I roll right here.
What were you doing today?
So I went to a carnival with real life carnies, and they had rides. And I remember these old school. You'd go and sit on these rickety things and hope you wouldn't die. When you were a kid, you wouldn't think about that. As an adult, that's all you think about.
That's right.
You hope that this isn't the time that bolt comes off that wheel when you go whipping around at 85 miles an hour on the zipper.
I sure hope Smitty finished the ride before he got into the afternoon douche.
Yeah, it's like, I hope Shorty the Clown here, who's running the show, I hope I'm on the ride before noon, so maybe I'm thinking he's more sober at this point,
Brilliant!
rather than later in the day, and it's, so we went on a bunch of these rides, and, my kids are freaking out. It's like, they're loving it, and it's so fun, and all I'm thinking about is, this feels loose, this is not closing all the way, this thing makes a weird banging noise when it goes loop to loop, and I ride them, and it's so, it's like I'm not scared of the ride, I'm just scared because I feel like that when I get on this thing, it's the last thing I'm ever going to do, because I just have that, liability running through my head as an attorney, but.
Yeah, no. There was this ride when I was little, it was called the Zipper. Did they have that there at the carnival?
That's what I was on. I went on that a couple times today, yeah.
Yeah, so the Zipper is the first thing of many later that made me throw up as a child. I had like 7 funnel cakes, 4 hot dogs, a bunch of crap, and I got on the Zipper, man, and that thing is like, it's a ride within a ride within a ride.
Yeah.
There's 3 different things going on at once, man. That thing is a bastard of a ride. If you can do that, I think you can ride anything. Gravitron, bring it on.
The Gravitron. Oh, that was the shit. There was one just like that called Zero Gravity, where it would spin you around like this, but then it would start and it would tilt and it would go like this.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that one too.
My 5-year-old was loving it. I was freaking the fuck out the whole time. Like, I'm not strapped in. There is a cloth band in front of me. Like, literally. Like, there's nothing keeping me from gravity.
You're wearing your restraining loincloth that is holding you into this freaking centrifuge.
Yeah.
The Gravitron, I don't know if you remember that, but the Gravitron, the way it worked, was after you got 70 G-forces, it was angled walls, and you would slide up the wall. Like, you would literally slide up the wall, and people would turn upside down inside of it. Oh, that was some crazy crap, man.
It's like you have centrifugal force, and hopefully the highly trained skills of Jose, who's got an 8-hour training mission on that before he started working on that last week. So it's like... I just hope I make it out.
Carnival, and I'm trying to talk my kids into the slide. Like, doesn't that slide look great? It's only
slide looks awesome.
Tickets. Let's do 57 tickets to slide down a piece of plastic.
Oh, the worst thing is how expensive. Like, every time you go on these things, it's $5 per person to go on the dang things. So funny. But that was some in real life stuff I did today. Though I thought it was. I actually had a really good time on those rides, but it's like the fear isn't from the ride. The fear is from what you know in real life could probably happen here. Thank you, YouTube.
That's why kids don't watch CNN.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, it's so funny.
This week, we're leaving tomorrow. I'm on my first vacation of this year, and I'm very excited about it. We're going to this place called Schlitterbahn here in Texas, which is this huge water park. We're taking the kids and heading out there tomorrow. I'm excited about it, but I'm also like Mr. Consequence brain here. I'm always like worried about it. So everybody's got life jackets. Everyone's got to stay together. I'm wondering if sunscreen, but I'm also wondering, like, would it be a social faux pas if I were to say everyone has to tie each other together with a rope?
Right.
In the water park to stay together as we go down the tubes. I'm always, Leslie's like, stop, get it. This is ridiculous. You worry too much. I'm like, I was in the Coast Guard to pull drowned people out of the water.
Helicopter dad, here I come.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some video game stuff.
I want to talk about Wolfenstein. I finished that game a couple weeks ago, and god damn, I love that game.
Have you replayed it?
I finished the game, and it's like, when you play it, it's so funny because it's like the game, you expect kind of a campy, thing, and it's actually a direct sequel to the previous Wolfenstein. And I really like that game. It was underrated in my opinion. So Wolfenstein, what happens is you're assaulting Death's Head, the Castle Wolfenstein at the beginning of the game.
Right.
And things go bad. Really, really fucking bad. You end up in a insane asylum as like a comatose person. People don't know who you are. You were lucky to escape, but none of your friends did. And you make a choice in like the first hour of the game as to who lives and who dies in this certain section. It's kind of horrific.
Okay.
And it actually changes the way you play the game. So if you want to replay the game again, you let the other person live, and you get a whole different set of abilities. So just interesting there. And so you wake up in the 60s.
Set of abilities, but it doesn't change the story much? Or is that person a part of your story, and so you have different cutscenes and stuff?
Right. You have different cutscenes. You have different abilities. So one way you can do electrical hacking if one guy lives. The other way you can lockpick doors. So you get different rewards and stuff. And if you want to get like a fully complete game, you have to play through it twice. Wow. So you're in the 60s now, and it's like technologically superior Nazis have taken over the world. And you want to get the band back together and kill some Nazis.
Everybody wants to kill some Nazis. I mean, that's...
Kill some Nazis. Like glorious bastards.
Nazis are like right up there with zombies in that there's just a universal... It's okay. Like, it's totally okay. You can hack zombies to death. You can light them on fire. You don't even see anybody going like on... You don't see Jack, what's-his-face? What was his name?
Jack Thompson?
Jack Thompson. You don't see Jack Thompson... on TV going, these zombies, this is people training to kill zombies. It's this horrible thing. And you also aren't going to see him going, man, these Nazis, they don't deserve this type of treatment. You can do whatever you want to a zombie or a Nazi.
Right.
They're interchangeable. They're interchangeable. One of them's smarter, but the other one's a little bit more relentless.
Yeah. And it's so funny because that's exactly how the game is. It's like, it's so over the top. Except there are just balls to the wall action in this game, and it's refreshing because it's just like there's no holes barred. It's basically, yes, we're a shooter. Yes, we're killing Nazis. Here's these really cool guns. Kill them any way you want. Here's a room full of them. Non-linear. Take them out however you want. It's a linear game, but you can kind of have your own fun. That's what shooters are. Like, for instance, Resistance was you had all these different guns. You get these big battles. You can fight however you want. Resistance 2 was you only get 2 guns, and you're going to walk into this section and see that gun laying on the ground right next to that door you're about to walk into.
That's the one you need to finish the level.
Right. So it was like, a mommy hand-holding, and I hated that. So the cool thing about Wolfenstein is once you get past all the fun action and the shooting, which is all good, there's these quiet scenes where you get to know the people in the game, and you also get to know the bad guys. There's a scene on a train that is especially chilling. You're trying to bring tea back to your friends. You're riding this train to go to Berlin to help save these people, and you're incognito, and just like Doc is now.
I'm setting the mood. This is exciting.
Setting the mood, and this Nazi lady and her lover, this younger guy, they ask you to sit down and play this game with them, and it's like this creepy like Schindler's List game where like if you give them the wrong answer, they're just going to kill you on the spot.
Oh,
and
shit.
they put you, yeah, and so you end up thinking you're supposed to make the right choice, and you don't, and like this crazy stuff happens. But that's just part of the story, and it's Wolfenstein is just a very well-crafted game. The story, there's no eye-rolling, there is over-the-top zaniness, and the last boss fight at the end I thought was kind of a letdown. Not the last boss fight, the second to last boss fight was kind of a letdown. The last boss fight is great.
Is there a multiplayer aspect to this game?
There is not. There is not. There is not. I bought this game day one. Anybody that loves shooters owes it to themselves to play this game on PS4, Xbox One. I love Wolfenstein. I love this game. This game is what shooters were. These are the kind of games that shooters were made for. Wolfenstein has my thumbs up. I really love this game. It's one of my favorite games I've played this year.
Well, he doesn't give that many thumbs up. That's awesome. I love that you play such a variety of games. I find a game or two, and I just kind of fixate on that until I'm just absolutely sick of it. And this, I'm on War Thunder. I played FTL yesterday. Basically put about 3 hours into like the most careful, normal game of FTL. Remember we were talking about how you just can't whatever. I was careful. I created a checklist. Like each level before I went to the next level, because I was trying to be careful. I was like, all right, before you go to the next level, check how many missiles do we have. If it's below this, that's where we're going to get energy. We're going to level these things up. I had made it scientific, man. And in normal, I got to the end. I got to the fight, and I knocked the thing's wing off the first round, and I knocked the other wing off the second round. I got to the final fight and got destroyed. And I put like 3 hours into this game. This one round of freaking FTL with all these checklists and papers stacked up on the desk. I was so pissed. It made it worse. It made losing worse.
That game was great. Another, iPhone games for me are games that you play while you're on the subway, or you play when you're, when you're driving. No. When you're driving your kids to daycare, when you're out on a bad day,
That's the problem. Someone's doing that. Some guy's like, man, I'm on level 3 at FTL. Oh, green light. Woo. Oh my God.
Green light go. But like the best games like Candy Crush or like Angry Birds are games that you can play one hand, standing on a train, and it occupies your time, right?
Right.
And so I've been looking for games like that, because no matter how involved the games I get on my iPhone, I don't play them that much because I just don't find myself wanting to play involved games on my mobile device.
Right.
So I've been playing this game called Threes, and it's basically a numbers game where you slide numbers left or right, up and down to create the number 3, and then the multiples of 3s. So you put 2 3s together, it creates a 6. You put 2 6s together, you get 12, and you just try and get the highest number you can get.
Yes, I played this game briefly. I thought it was really a lot of thinking. It's kind of like hundreds.
There's only getting 2 called 2048 that's supposed to be like. But here's the thing: the more you play this game, the more you kind of like see the tricks and the patterns. So you're able to kind of get that going. And the game actually has a really good sound. It has, but I don't ever have it on. I just listened to it when I first started playing it because I knew we were going to talk about it. And it has like every number is its own character that like says different things. It's pretty funny. So when you create like the 192, after you put 290 whatever it is together, cool. 96s together, and it's got a lot of personality for a numbers game. I think it's super cheap.
No one's ever said that before, ever.
I know, right? It's like the most personality in a numbers game we're ever going to find, man. It's just amazing.
But if you want a good story, who's watching the show right now going, I thought the same thing. And I thought 64 was kind of a smart ass.
Yeah, right? He's like, damn it, my Sudoku RPG is ruined. So I highly recommend Threes because it's just really fun. It's something that can take your mind off of your shitty commute on your way to the job that you hate to make money for the wife that you want to divorce. And I'm sorry, I was in my own head again. I'm just joking.
Hey, when was the last time you washed your clothes?
So I don't have I still don't have hot water. Don't have a washer and dryer.
God
So
almighty, dude.
I know, right? So I took it to this place. I took like a bag of clothes to this laundry, and like I give it to the lady, and I'm like, "You'll wash this stuff, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "How much did you got charged?" She goes, "Oh, $2 a pound." I'm like, "Oh, that's cheap. So, it's like 10 pounds or like 20 bucks. I don't have to do any laundry. I just give it to her, I come back." So I get it back, and she's like, "That'll be $55." And I'm like, what? And she's like, "Yeah, it's 22 pounds or something like that." I'm like, or whatever it
Oh,
was.
I know what she did. She got it wet.
25 pounds. Yeah, she must have weighed them when they were wet.
Yeah.
It was like 26 pounds or 27 pounds of clothing. I'm just like, God damn.
Yeah, but it was probably, to be fair, about 10 pounds of that was probably genetic material.
Yeah, well, you don't weigh it before you're supposed to weigh it after it's dry. You get rid of all that stuff, I mean, jeez. My boys weigh a lot.
they're like Gears of War guys.
they're roadie running to the egg.
Egg. That's what they see. They see it's like a camera bobbing. It's like going.
Yeah, right.
They're like, oh crap, we forgot our ammo.
Oh yeah, sperm war. That's gonna be the new one.
That would be hilarious. Why has no one made a sperm game?
Topic for next week.
That is a good topic for next week. If you're going to make it, I'd like some feedback from the community on this. If you're watching the show, all 146 of you that are watching it or listening on our podcast, go in the comment section or jump on our Facebook page or go in the comments of the YouTube video. It's right there. And if you're going to make a sperm, sorry, if you're going to make a game where sperm is the central character of the game, what would you call it? What would be the core mechanic of it? Is it a swimming game?
Is it Gears of War? Is it Undertow?
It could be Tower Defense.
Right.
So what would you call it, and how would it work? We want to know. And
the best one will do like a minute of uninterrupted praise or something.
Speaking of a minute of uninterrupted praise, I want to send a big shout out to our sarcastic supporters. Every single one of you are the reason we're able to continue doing this. We appreciate the hell out of you. If you listen to the show, watch the show on YouTube, or take the feed, or get it on Facebook, or just whatever. You just stumbled upon it, and this show has any value whatsoever to you, we would appreciate you becoming a sarcastic supporter. It helps us keep going. People like Ian Crane and Jordan Carroll and Tyler Nunez and all those fantastic people that are sarcastic supporters. They give. You can go $1 a month up to $10 a month, whatever feels right to you. And you can stop anytime you want. A sarcastic supporter is the reason we're able to keep doing the show. It's the reason you don't see an ad for Cheetos right now. See? No ad for Cheetos. It's because, A, they wouldn't advertise here, probably because of the sperm stuff, and B, because we don't want that going on here either. We just want to hang out with you and talk to you, and we appreciate you being part of the show.
Yeah, next week I want to finish Tomb Raider. I would love to dissect that and compare it, and all the things that they did right in that game versus the Uncharted games. And I also want to play some more. I've been playing a ton of Rayman Legends with my kids. And Doc, if you've ever played a game with your kids, you should play this one because it's fucking great.
Is it on 360?
Yeah, it is on 360. It's also on Wii U, Xbox One, PS4. It was a slow burn for me and my kids, but once we got into it, we really love it. And let's see, what else is coming out? There's a bunch of other stuff coming out this week. I'm still playing Watch Dogs, too, so I'd like to give a review of that next week. And maybe we'll talk some Game of Thrones and Orange is the New Black.
Well, you give us a hint. Give us a hint on Watch Dogs. You liking it or not? We haven't heard much about this yet.
Watch Dogs has some...
Just a little taste.
It has some interesting things that are held back by some gameplay mechanics.
Oh, I hate to hear that. That sucks. All right. Well, we'll hear more about it next week. Maybe you'll discover. Maybe you'll unlock the gameplay mechanic.
Right. That's in the. That'd be great. You get this in game. You're like, you already put like 6 hours into it. Like, you've unlocked the fun. That's what I hope happens in Destiny after 6 hours. You unlock
I was just going to say that. We want to say thank you to you guys for bearing with us as we kind of revamp the show and get used to the video format and figure out how the hell to do this in a way that works for both our very valued audio folks, and also to just bring the show to a new dimension. Thanks for our sarcastic supporters that are sticking with us, and we will be back next week. Have a fantastic week. As usual, Lano, you have the last word.
Last word is it's World Cup. That's actually 2 words, but go USA on Thursday.